The personal safety and health of each individual on an SC Builders project is of primary importance. Management will provide all mechanical and physical activities required for personal safety and health in keeping with the highest standards. Our programs mandate full cooperation in all safety and health matters, not only between management and labor and between supervisor and employee, but also between each individual and their coworkers. Only through such cooperative effort can our goals be achieved. Our goal is to achieve 0 accidents and injuries on every job. It is the responsibility of each worker to perform tasks in a manner that prevents incidents and accidents that could harm themselves, fellow workers, the public, and property. Workers must wear all PPE properly. Workers must notify supervisors about dangerous conditions, including unsafe tools and equipment. Report near misses and incidents. Cooperate with any associated investigation as requested. Actively participate in pre-task planning. And attend all safety meetings and required training sessions. Foremen and supervisors are responsible for ensuring all workers are trained properly for assigned tasks. Daily pre-task planning, all work activities for safety, and reviewing high-risk activities with SC Builders. Participating in all incident and near-miss investigations relating to their work. Inspecting work areas daily and ensuring that unsafe conditions and work practices are corrected and documented. And maintaining a positive attitude towards safety and setting an example for all workers. Expectations for standards of conduct are provided to employees and subcontractor employees through our Code of Safe Conduct. SC Builders Code of Safe Conduct outlines expectations for all workers to provide a healthy and safe work environment. Most importantly, workers are not to walk the job distracted by the use of cell phones or other handheld devices. The use of audio devices is prohibited. When lifting heavy objects, use proper lifting techniques, like lifting with the legs instead of the lower back. Unsafe conduct will not be tolerated and offenders are subject to removal from the job site. Please review and confirm receipt of Code of Safe Conduct on the orientation acknowledgement. The goal of pre-task planning is to coordinate and pre-plan the work so that all work crews and operations are afforded the opportunity to work productively and safely each day. Pre-task planning is not a per subcontractor function. It is a function of each foreman and the assigned work crew. Crews with different tasks will conduct and document their own pre-task plan, and it should be done in the area where the work is scheduled, so specific logistic items can be addressed. If the scope of work changes or a new hazard is introduced during the scope of the work, the supervisor or foreman will stop work and revise the plan. Pre-task planning documentation will be maintained for the duration of the project. The OSHA Focus 4 is a group of hazards that are collectively responsible for more than half of all fatalities and injuries that occur on construction sites, which include fall hazards, struck by object hazards, caught in or between hazards, and electrocution hazards. Let's see how these hazards are introduced into construction and how we can recognize and control them. SC Builders requires 100% continuous fall protection whenever workers are exposed to fall hazards of 6 feet or greater. All fall prevention and fall protection measures will meet the requirements of CSO Article 24. There is no set safe distance from a leading edge that would exempt a worker from fall protection. There are 2 options when it comes to fall protection. Physical guards, such as guardrails, floor, and wall covers, or personal fall arrest systems, personal fall restraint systems, and positioning devices which require formal training prior to initial use. When selecting a ladder for use, you must consider the ladder height required, the working load, the duty rating, and worker position relative to the performed task. All workers will be trained on the safe use of ladders. Ladders must be inspected daily prior to use. Responsible parties will remove or destroy damaged ladders from the project. Ladders will prominently display all manufacturers' safety and inspection labels, maintenance information, and load ratings. Extension ladders and straight ladders will be secured at the top and base of the ladder to prevent displacement and follow the 4-1 rule. For every 4 feet of height you climb, the base of the ladder should be placed 1 foot away from the wall and extend 3 feet past the landing. When ascending or descending a ladder, the user will face the ladder and maintain 3 points of contact. Workers will not stand on the top cap or the second rung of a step ladder. Leaning of A-frame ladders is prohibited. All workers must be trained on the safe use of scaffolds. All scaffolds must be erected and dismantled under the supervision of a qualified person. Upon mobilization, scaffolds must be green tagged by the supplier. Workers using a rolling scaffold must lock their casters or use top locks to prevent displacement. Any platforms above 6 feet will require fall protection, such as the use of guardrails or fall arrest setup. Additionally, all components such as outriggers or railings must be in use when required. Only certified operators may use mobile elevated work platforms or MUPES, and equipment certification must be verified prior to use. MUPES require daily inspection prior to use. MUPES must be green tagged when mobilized to the project. Always follow the manufacturer's recommendations and keep the operator's manual on the equipment. Keep body parts within the basket when operating, and standing on the middle or top rail is prohibited. Finally, good housekeeping is essential to prevent slips and trips on the job site. All material, spoils, and debris are to be cleaned up by the end of each work shift. Each subcontractor is responsible for 100% cleanup and removal of debris created by their work each day. Access and egress pathways must be clear of all obstructions. Plastic poly sheeting must be taped to the floor when used as protection. A visual observation of the area will give the direct and obvious impression of a clean and orderly workplace. This is non-negotiable. All fall prevention measures must be verified by a competent person, one who is capable of identifying hazards and has authorization to take prompt corrective measures to eliminate them, and will ensure implementation of controls according to the work plan. When working around moving equipment, maintain a safe distance at all times and make eye contact with the operator when needing to pass by. All operators must be certified and use spotters when they don't have a clear line of sight. Moving equipment like forklifts, skid steer loaders, and excavators present common struck-by hazards. Always wear seat belts when provided and perform a daily inspection prior to use. Know the load chart of your lift and secure loads to prevent struck-bys and damaging material. Operators must ensure no one walks underneath suspended loads. Spotters or ground helpers are often victims of struck-by incidents. Operators must engage their safety devices, such as locking levers or e-stops, when spotters are exposed to equipment movement. Falling object protection includes the use of delineators and danger tape and spotters when necessary. When working with projectile hazards such as cutting wheels or chipping operations, it is important to wear the correct PPE, such as a face shield. Another common struck-by hazard is improper storage of workplace tools and materials, such as unsecured ladders, ductwork, doors, and palletized material. Never store anything in doorways, and always maintain access and egress pathways. Be mindful of tools placed on the edge of MUPES or ladders. Public safety is vital to our safety program, so pedestrians or clients in occupied buildings must be accounted for. The use of barriers and spotters must be implemented, and work areas must be free from hazards that are exposed to the public. Caught in or between hazards are defined as injuries resulting from a person being squeezed, caught, crushed, pinched, or compressed between an object of an immovable force. Digging operations present the largest risk in this area. When working in a trench, you need to have an extension ladder at 4 feet with access every 25 feet where workers are present. Shoring or other trench protection needs to be installed at 5 feet or lower pending soil conditions and worker activity. Heavy equipment can also be a factor around trench cave-ins. Keep personnel away from areas with equipment and provide shoring in areas where required. Inspect soil conditions daily and watch for sloughing and water intrusion. Sloughing is soil falling off banks and slopes due to a loss in cohesion. Both can compromise trench walls. Working around equipment in tight spaces also poses a caught-in or between hazard. Machine guarding can prevent these types of incidents by shielding hazardous areas to prevent contact with body parts or to control hazards like chips or sparks from exiting the machine. Lock out all equipment when performing maintenance. Lock out means immobilizing the equipment to prevent movement and startup. Never put yourself between a moving force and a wall or even the ground. Caught in and between hazards are prominent during mobilization and demobilization. Items can shift in transport and be unstable when releasing tie-down straps. And finally, electrical hazards. The different types of electrical injuries consist of electrical burns, electrical fires, and electrical shock. Mitigate electrical hazards by conducting a daily inspection to prevent accidental electrical shock. This applies to all cord sets, portable electrical equipment, tools, and appliances that are not part of any permanent building electrical systems. All cords and equipment must be rated for construction. A quarterly inspection of all cords will be conducted with color-specific electrical tape. Damaged tools and cords are to be removed from service. Only authorized personnel, such as qualified electricians, are allowed access to electrical rooms. Rooms with live panels shall always remain locked unless a qualified electrician is in the room or can monitor access into the room. Live panels shall have dead fronts installed. All live electrical systems must be guarded. Lockout, tagout devices must be in place for systems under construction. All tools and equipment must be protected by the ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI. Without a GFCI, plugging into house power is prohibited. No work will be performed on any energized system unless an approved written work plan is developed and submitted to SC Builders for review prior to performance of the work. When it comes to chemical safety, all chemical containers must be labeled. SDS sheets are subcontractor responsibility, and SC Builders will maintain a database of subcontractor submitted SDS sheets. If you encounter suspect materials or leftover chemicals, stop. Do not disturb them, and notify SC Builders immediately. Every SC Builders project has a site-specific emergency action plan. For first aid emergencies, every job site will have a first aid kit available. All supervisors must be first aid trained, and all contractors must have a dedicated first aid kit for their crew. When 911 is called, the project office will confirm with 911. Emergency response vehicles will be met by SC Builders, who will direct first responders to the scene. After victims are secured by rescue, the scene will be secured for accident investigation. No one shall enter the secured area until SC Builders has granted approval. Do not disturb the scene of an incident. In the event of an evacuation, SC Builders will use an air horn and/or word of mouth to clear the building floor by floor. Once you are notified, exit the building safely and meet at the emergency evacuation area. Supervisors and foremen are to report head counts to the superintendent. Do not leave the emergency evacuation area until directed to do so. All near misses, incidents, injuries, and illnesses must be reported to SC Builders. A near miss is an event where no injury, illness, or damage has occurred but had the potential to do so. They must be reported quickly so that an investigation may begin. Near miss reporting is a free pass. We can't fix what we don't know. Incidents often occur because near misses go unreported and continue to occur until there is an incident. Regardless of perceived severity, a near miss is our chance to learn and save someone from future injury and prevent damage to the project. An incident is an event where injury, illness, or damage has occurred. All incidents are preventable. With proper planning, hazard recognition, and controls, we can prevent all incidents. SC Builders appreciates your commitment to a safe and productive work environment. As always, if there are any questions or concerns while working on our project, please reach out to your foreman or any SC Builders representative. And remember, safety counts. Believe it.